Okay, Matt. I set
So,
that up.
so, so the other big, so I always feel douchey about the Conan O'Brien thing, but people need
It's
to
not
know, like,
douchey.
so I only have a couple claims to fame. I started with comics that have become very famous. They would never talk about these little accomplishments that I had, but they are, again, unique stories. So I was, in 2006, I believe, I was hired to headline at the Comedy Nest in Montreal, Canada. And I guess got it through a gig from a guy at work. I sent my stuff or whatever. He got me the gig. I get the gig either the first night or the second night at the club. The club owner through somebody else, or I don't know if he comes to me or who but the bottom line is this. He says, if you curse again in my room, I'm going to fire you. You're going to be off the show for the weekend. So I'm telling you, do not curse. If I find out that you cursed, I'm going to fire you. So
On stage?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. No cursing on stage. So I just I tightened up my act, and because I was probably they put me in a bar. So you did the showroom like a Friday and Saturday or Sunday, and then they put you in a bar Thursday night where you were just doing a random bar, and big bar. It was a big, huge bar. It was really straight, but the stage and everything. And it was a boisterous crowd, and it was like a weird room. So I'm cursing and stuff because I'm trying to get some energy to get some comfort. No, this is Montreal. I'm in Montreal, Canada.
And we're talking about 10 years ago. So
yeah. So, but the bottom line,
interesting dynamic.
Yeah. So the bottom line is, I'm in panic mode. I tighten on my set a little bit. I finish the weekend. I get paid, and then the sound guy comes up to me and goes, "Look, I want to let you know something. He did instruct me to record every single set you did for the rest of the weekend, and you did great. I gave it to him, and I also would like to mail it to you. Just give me your address." So actually, it was a godsend. This guy had everything super mastered, all audio, not video, and he sent me 3 of the sets. I haven't listened to them since maybe I listened to them once or twice. I don't remember. So on the drive down there, I was listening to it, and again, it's so weird because I was super comfortable. I was super calm. For someone whose job was about his one big headlining gig I was about to get fired from, I was calm as fuck, and I was just comfortable. I don't even sound like myself, and I did fine. I still don't like my material. The audience was fine. I performed well, but I don't really like it. But I had built up so much stage time and so much comfortability that you could survive. I could probably go anywhere and MC feature. I don't know if I could headline everywhere, but I was able to pull off headlining there. And I listened to these sets on the way there. So I was like, so I also too was having this whole nostalgia trip yesterday. So this broadcast is a nostalgia trip, and so was yesterday. I don't know if I'll continue to do stand up. I don't really have great interest. If I could write new material and build a whole new set, that's one thing. But I much prefer to podcast and live stream about stuff. Mm-hmm. That's where my passion is. I don't have. Comedy's a grind, man. Watch Crashing. It's a grind, and you got to love this grind. But it's a super grind. It's a little bit fantastical that he's having best friends with all these well-named comics right out the bat. That's not the way it works. You run into them, you're crossing their paths, but they're not treating you well. So.
But it sounds like you're sort of figured out, even unintentionally, that work-life balance that is really not the meaning of life, but sort of the template of how to live life. It's to balance, these tasks of just obtaining money and everything else with doing things that fuel your passion. So even if you're not grinding full time, it sounds like my high school dates. But in any case,
yeah. But the thing is, I wanted to do. I was hoping we would do a live stream podcast weekly or monthly or whatever. That's still not going to happen. Markland's got so much going on with his thing. You're flaking ahead. I don't know what your story is, Curtis. So I don't even know I don't know what's going to happen next. This just happens to be a really good weekend where I got to do stand up and I got to meet up.
I don't believe at all, but go on.